Clash of Clans. This video is fact-based, so we'll be discussing things we know for sure, but there will also be some speculation included so that we can predict some unconfirmed but very likely things happening. And I'll be sure to include chapters so you can skip to a specific topic if you want. So right off the bat, let's talk about a timeline. We know from previous Town Hall launches there will be a Hammer Jam, an event where everything in the game is 50% off, and that will last exactly 2 weeks right before the Town Hall launches. And while we don't have any confirmed dates, based on previous December updates from the last decade, the most likely date for the Town Hall 17 update is Tuesday, December 10th. That means Hammer Jam will most likely start on either Sunday, November 24th or Monday, November 25th to allow a small gap between when Hammer Jam ends and when the update drops. Knowing this information, they will most likely start teasing Town Hall 17 around Friday, November 22nd and start rolling out these sneak peeks during the Hammer Jam event. However, this is simply an educated guess based on previous Town Hall launches and December updates. All of this could happen a week later than anticipated or even before. We'll just have to wait and see. Something you don't have to wait to find out is the theme of Town Hall 17, as we already know its main colors based on a barracks that was teased in a recent video for supercharged buildings. This is the best image we have of the real one, but with Photoshop magic I recreated it. It's not perfect of course, but it does give us a better idea of what to expect. A mostly dark color palette with gold accents, and it does seem like some of Town Hall 9's castle aesthetics may be making a comeback. Now, a barracks doesn't always dictate the theme of an entire base. However, it's interesting to note that the level 3 monolith also follows this same theme, and I speculate that this may have been a foreshadow to the next Town Hall's theme, especially when you consider that it doesn't even match Town Hall 16. As you saw in the thumbnail as well, this is my recreation of Town Hall 17. Now, I'm not saying that every building will be this way. In Clash of Clans, buildings almost never follow one theme, but we can expect a darker color palette overall this time around. The next big thing about Town Hall 17 that we know is one you've surely heard before, as this was teased months ago, and it's that the Eagle Artillery is the next Town Hall weapon. It will be merging with the Town Hall. This was recently reconfirmed in a AMA by General Manager Stewart, so this is no longer most likely happening, it is happening. This means that a standalone Eagle Artillery will be no more, and the Giga Inferno will be removed. We know this because earlier in 2024, when they were discussing these plans originally, they stated we're going to merge the Eagle Artillery into the Town Hall so we can move on from the Inferno beams after 4 Town Halls with it. This will be interesting to see how they do it because the Infernos continuously attack with no reloading, whereas the Eagle Artillery is overall a much slower defense. And on top of that, it has specific activation methods. I wouldn't be surprised when it's merged with the Town Hall, they also change its activation mechanics, reload times, and most likely its damage as well to balance it out. Speaking of balancing, Town Hall 17 may need a lot of it. As they said, there's going to be a lot of changes to defense with Town Hall 17. We now know that this also includes a new signature defense. Now, 5 months ago, it was teased that they were working on something new in Signature E, and in the recent AMA, this was talked about again, stating the reason the Eagle Artillery is getting merged is not only to do away with the Giga Inferno, but also to make room for something new. And we know that this new defense is going to be another standalone big defense. However, this is all we know so far. We don't know what the defense is, what it will do, what it looks like. Any speculation is going to be a shot in the dark, honestly, so I'll leave it to you guys. What do you think the next signature defense is going to be? Let me know down below. Speaking of defenses, merged defenses have been a great way to make weak defenses strong again while making space for new buildings. And it seems that Town Hall 17 will be seeing a whole lot more of that. It's been confirmed that we'll be seeing new merging at Town Hall 17, but we don't know what. My best guess is that they're going to merge a non-core defense that we have multiple of. And this is just me speculating, but I think the mortar fits this bill. Also the wizard tower, Tesla, it could be any of those, even core defenses, though I think that's less likely to happen, but We don't know. All we know is that there will be new merges. We also know that more archer towers and cannons will be merging, so we will get more of those ricochet cannons and multi-archer towers. And this makes sense because Stewart did confirm that they are not adding more levels to the archer towers and cannons, and instead the plan is to eventually merge all of them. Now, in case you don't know, at Town Hall 16 there are 2 regular cannons, 3 regular archer towers, and 1 geared up variation of each. And with what we have, it's not possible to merge them all, but Stewart also confirmed that they will likely have to add 1 or more of each to let you merge everything. Is this going to happen all at once at Town Hall 17? We don't know for sure, especially how he used the word eventually, but we'll just have to wait and see to get an exact answer. It's also not very clear what their plans are with the geared up defenses, but in a comment from 5 months ago, they did joke about merging those together to create a geared up monstrosity. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. In fact, that sounds like a great idea. Alright, we know from the new barracks design that we're definitely getting a new troop. We don't know what it is, but we can expect it. And the same goes for pets. We don't know much about the new pets, but we do know one piece of information, and that is that we'll most likely be getting 2 new pets, just like in Town Hall 16, rather than the 4 we got in Town Hall 14 and 15. Stewart explains that the reason it'll likely be 2 is because there's already a great selection of pets for the amount of heroes we have. Now, before we get into the last bit of confirmed details and everything else, I did want to mention that I think Town Hall 17 may have a new hero. And I know at every new Town Hall, everyone thinks this is going to be the one to bring the 5th hero, and it never happens. But throughout 2024, they have talked about a new hero quite a lot. Suspiciously a lot. For example, one time they hinted at the fact that their favorite hero is one that wasn't even in the game yet. They confirmed to be developing a new system that lets you select which hero to use so that they can add more heroes. Recently, Stewart hints at more heroes in the future again. Actually, in the same AMA, he mentions it several times, including that new system once again. When talking about pets, there it goes again. And when asked if there were any changes coming soon to heroes, he replies, big changes coming. So I don't think it's all that crazy to assume that Town Hall 17 will most likely get a new hero, and if not in December, in the Town Hall 17 Part 2 update, which usually happens a few months after the main update. Now, like I said, I'm just speculating here, but it's never seemed more likely to happen than this Town Hall release. Alright, now that we have all of that out of the way, let's talk about everything else that involves Town Hall 17. All of the smaller details and some other confirmed things, like new gameplay. Now, this is for all Town Halls, but it includes Town Hall 17, and Stewart hints that there will be new gameplay in the update. Whatever that means. This is the only information we have about this, but the word gameplay makes it sound like something attacking wise, something you'll be doing as you're doing the main thing of the game, attacking bases. Maybe we'll be getting a new game mode, or finally Troop Quest, which was hinted at last year. Maybe they're adding new heroes for all Town Halls. Nah, that'd be crazy, but we'll just have to wait patiently. There will also be some cost reductions. Realistically, no one had to confirm this for us to know, but like every previous Town Hall release, we can expect cost reductions throughout every, if not most, Town Halls. One thing that will probably not see any cost reductions is supercharged upgrades, as it's a pretty new feature. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Town Hall 17 launches with just 1 or 2 or none at all. The most likely scenario is them adding it a few months before Town Hall 18 so that players can keep themselves busy after they max out, which is exactly what we saw this year. What isn't getting any new levels is equipment. They confirmed that Town Hall 17 will launch with no new equipment levels. Now, I'm going to assume this is great news, as equipment can sometimes feel OP as it is, and in terms of progress, the last thing we need right now is more levels to grind ores on. It will just be interesting to see if they feel noticeably weaker in the Town Hall 17 meta. But yeah, that is all of the information we have about Town Hall 17. As you can see, there is a lot